I'd like to invite you all to think about Petruchio in terms of the rules of comedy of Shakespeare's time, the conventions about marriage comedy, this boy girl comedy plot called the New Comedy, which we've already met last week or last unit in A Midsummer Night's Dream, which we're going to keep on meeting. Rather than taking him as a real person or attacking him as a real person who behaves badly, or defending him as a real person who behaves badly, I'd like to point out how he fits and how he doesn't fit that model. When you think of him as a literary character who is conforming or not conforming to type, he becomes both much more vivid as a character, more unusual, and I would argue somewhat less excusable. Now, as we all know, the basic boy-girl plot of these comedies is that the daughter has to kind of defy the father who wants to pick her husband for her. The rule, as we already learned in A Midsummer Night's Dream, is the guy your father wants you to marry, that guy's no damn good. It's going to be true next unit too, right? Even if you like him, he's no damn good. The one your father, the basic move, and it's not a feminist move, but it's as close as anything in a 16th century art form that's entirely created by men writing and performing, is gonna get. That the daughter gets to at least choose her own husband. It is not the case that Catherine gets to choose her own husband. Say what you will about Petruchio, Petruchio is the father's choice, not the daughter's. There's the textual evidence is rock solid clear on this. Petruchio has come to wive it wealthily in Padua, if happily in Padua. He is making a deal with the father, and after the wooing scene, note that Baptista he takes his he takes his prospective son-in-law's word over his daughter's. She says, "What are you doing? Why are you matching me with this madman? Why are you marrying me to a madman?" And Petruchio says, "Pay no attention to her. This is just a little game we play. She pretends when we're in company, but really she's in love with me. Don't listen to what she says. Let me tell you what she really means." And the father buys that. He accepts that. He takes the stranger from Verona's word about his daughter over his daughter's word. There is no getting around this part. If you want to find an excuse, don't try it here, because it ain't here. The father is accepting, going to take the suitor's word over his daughter's. That is true. There is no one to speak for Catherine, and no man will listen to what she says. Her words are counted as worthless. This is true. This is her basic situation, her basic problem in this play. I would point out the number of times the words father and son happen in this play. And there's a real father and son, and there's a fake father and son relationship. But notice how many times Baptista Manuela uses the word son for his two son-in-laws, and notice especially how often Petruchio uses the word father to mean father-in-law or prospective father-in-law. One of the things that's happening in this play, and it is culturally a fair description of the marriage market in 16th century Europe, the male characters are using women as a way to get relationships with each other. Baptista Manuela is shopping for sons-in-law. He has no sons. That's his problem. He's going to get his son-in-laws, through his daughters on the marriage market. And his goal is to get the best sons-in-law he can. Petruchio is looking for a new father figure. I'm not making this up. He says it. He's free to marry because he's inherited his father's estate, but he's also, if we're going to psychologize this character, and you shouldn't go too far into that, treating them as characters with real backstories and lives that you're like, you can only go by what's in the text. But what is in the text is he talks repeatedly about his father who has recently died. Petruchio has lost his father. He's made his way to another town to marry here in Padua and find a new father figure, new brother-in-law. What does this have to do with the women? Imagine, if you will, a perspective in which women are used as pawns to create alliances, business, family alliances, political alliances between men, which is what the upper class women of this time were used for. On the other hand, like this play on one hand, the Petruchio plot invests heavily in exactly the same arranged marriage plot line, where the arranged marriage is really for the benefit of the two men, and the daughter, bride, is just a convenience that allows these two men to cement their relationship. It really invests in that institution which the normal comedy plot undermines. Every other comedy, every other Shakespeare comedy undermines that plot. The Petruchio, that institution, the arranged marriage idea, this play backs it.